Hey guys, DMS here. Today I have for you the unique Melody Mentor V3 IEMs. Let's check them out. So these are 12 driver BA IEMs around $2,000. These do have some features that make them unique at their price point. So let's start with the build. The housing is plastic, though it feels relatively thick, and there is a metal tip on the end of the nozzle for you to put your ear tips on, which, by the way, I'm using Dakoni foams. That's my current universal reference standard that I'm using to test all my IEMs. These also come with multiple single-ended and balanced cables, and their cables have an interesting, I believe, proprietary connector that actually allows you to switch on multiple different materials, which I find interesting. They give you a choice to switch the cables between copper and silver, I believe, on several other different cables. I don't know about this one specifically, but it also offers a redundant connection, 4 pins in there in case one set gets damaged or corroded, or I assume basically any of those things, which is very nice, especially on an IEM of this price range. You want to have redundancy, so I definitely like that. It's almost double the safety of having a detachable cable. Comfort-wise, these are great. They're not very heavy, the edges are nice and soft, and they fit in my ears very well, though they do stick out just a little bit, and the cable size is a little bit large, but I'm not complaining because I haven't had any comfort issues with them at all, and they seem to stay in my ears just fine. Now these also come with the best protective case I've ever felt for IEMs. So look how thick this thing is. This is solid metal lined with what I think is Alcantara or some other similar material. I feel like I could have the IEMs inside this and shoot it with a bullet and they might be okay if it's a small caliber. The only downside is that sometimes it is a little bit hard to line up this threading. But you can see I got it right there. Just took a couple seconds. And occasionally they do feel just a little bit cramped inside this, but I really can't complain because this is insanely protective. But you're not going to be getting them out in a hurry if you need to. It'll take you a few seconds, certainly less than a minute to get them out of the case on your head and get the case screwed back together though, so that's not too big of a problem. And for the protection it offers, it is definitely better than some other cases I've had around, like the case for Stella. But I feel like if Andromeda's case could protect them from a lawnmower, this could protect them from a lot. So let's get into sound. I've got my notes up here. The biggest overall note I have for these is that they are 90% brilliant. Brilliant not being a characteristic of the sound, but they just sound 90% wonderful. I find that with these it's very easy to just stop being analytical and just enjoy the music, just listen to the music. In fact, I actually found it hard to be analytical at times because I was so immersed in the sound I was listening to. Many times when I have complaints with things, it's because there's dips or there's something missing. And the Mentor V3 does an incredible job with its 12 drivers of making sure that there is no gaps in the frequency response. It sounds like everything is presented reasonably level. Though I have questioned this at the same time because while everything sounds presented in level, there is no harshness anywhere throughout the entire frequency response. Even in the treble, which sounds completely present, but also not sibilant, which, if anything, is just a testament to their ability to resolve. The bass adjustment and pressure relief on the side is very nice, and it definitely does work. Wide open, which is kind of how I like them the most, is not super bass heavy, but it definitely is a big contrast from having them all the way closed, which definitely gave them a little bit more of a thin sound. So the soundstage on these reminds me a lot of a decent pair of over-ear headphones, which is definitely great for an IEM, though there are some IEMs I've heard out there with better soundstage, like for example the U12T from 64 Audio, which I feel like would probably carry over into their A12T, which is a custom IEM similarly priced. The soundstage is still very impressive for an IEM and still very immersive. It's very much like a sound wall that starts right around here and then just pushes outwards into this vast expanse. However, it doesn't seem to get too much more intimate than that. There is a center channel, but it seems like it maintains the imaging in the center really well, but doesn't sound nearly as intimate anything past here inward. So I feel like they do lack just a little bit in intimacy, but they make up for it in the fact that they are in no way harsh or sibilant and have such well-rounded imaging and soundstage outside of that. Which is very interesting to talk about a headphone that not only has nothing missing, but nothing is also forward. And somehow they maintain this without being boring, which is a very hard thing to do. and Unique Melody definitely pulled it off. So I would say that these in many ways rival the U12T, which is similarly priced and have the same number of drivers. The U12T is a little bit more punchy, a little bit more intimate, and has slightly better soundstage, but is also more forward in treble. And if you have any sort of treble sensitivity or are scared of sibilance, the Unique Melody Mentor V3 is probably going to be a better choice for you. However, I do plan on reviewing the 64 Audio 12 driver IEM at some point. And it's also worth noting that the A12T custom IEM exists at the same price point if you're into custom IEMs. But either way, I cannot see someone getting these and being disappointed because they are a simply wonderful IEM. So guys, I hope you find this video helpful. If you did, please leave a like down below and a comment letting me know what you want to see in the future. And if you want to support the channel and get early access to reviews like this one, you can check out the Patreon linked in the video description, and don't forget to stick around and subscribe for more videos like this. Until the next one, guys. Peace.